Group 1. So this topic was requested by a subscriber a while ago, so it's going to be just short, to the point, short and sweet. Does your future spouse have children currently? I am bracing myself for the comment section because I feel like this is kind of like a hot button kind of thing. Like, I'm sure some of you have some really strong feelings about this, so you know, if the reading doesn't resonate, please leave it, but I'm just gonna say whatever comes through. Okay? So no reversals today because we want to be very clear. Does your future spouse currently have children? Group 1, please. And a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Okay. They don't. They do not have children. However, asterisk, you know, like, however, comma, however. So no, this person is currently single. They do not have children from any previous connections. However, they do, I think, have a pet, at least one pet, that they view as like their baby, okay? They really are a huge animal lover. You know, they really treat, I don't know if they have multiple pets or just one pet, but they have at least one pet that, you know, that's their fur baby, that's their child. And it's a really big deal to them that whoever their future partner is going to be like understanding of how important, you know, like their pet or pets are to them. And it's important for them to be with someone who really loves animals the way that they do. So, you know, like maybe they have a cat or a dog. So I think it would just be important to them that you got along well with their pet. So we won't use the astro dice. I just had this out in case, you know, there was a child coming through, but not seeing that anywhere here. I will say though, just as a side message, with the cat magic and the high priestess card here together, especially since they're right next to each other, I do feel like your future spouse is really trying to manifest you right now. You know, they've been through a really difficult time, so I think that they're trying to change their life in a positive direction in many aspects, but I think one of those things that they're really wanting is honest, true, authentic love. Like, they want fidelity, they want loyalty, they want true love, true honest connection. And so, I mean, the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess, like, this is an energy of someone who is really trying to protect themselves, okay? And I mean, this is just talking about energy. It's not talking about gender. So if you're asking about a man, that's okay too. This is just someone who's really trying to protect themselves. You know, with the amethyst being around here, you know, and the Queen of Swords, she can be quite guarded. And so it's like on one hand, they are open and like desiring love, but on the other hand, they are a bit gun shy about it. With this Ten of Sky, which is the Ten of Swords, for good reason. Like, this person has had, you know, times in their life where they've been backed into a corner, where they've been hurt, where they've been betrayed, where they've had their, you know, their trust broken, and they've had some heartbreaks, some losses in their life. And it doesn't just have to be romantic. It could be issues with family or friends, you know, and it could even be like a natural disaster, you know, like I knew someone who went through Hurricane Katrina, and it still affects them today. I mean, they lost everything. And so when things like that happen and you feel like everything has been stripped away from you, that's trauma, right? And so it does leave a mark. You know, you can see the scars on this cat. So I feel like your future spouse is a really resilient individual. They're really strong. They've been through a lot. And so, you know, they're a little bit tired from the journey, but they're still hopeful. And, you know, they are, I think, just super discerning about who they let in, but they are wanting a partner. Like, they are wanting that. And I do think that they probably want a family someday. What that family looks like, you know, might vary. You know, because they are such a huge animal lover, if you're not wanting children, they may be content just to have their fur babies, you know. That would have to be, you know, obviously a discussion between you two in the future. But I would assume, since you're going to be marrying this person, that you would likely be on the same page in terms of whether you want children in the future or not. If you're not an animal lover, like if you really don't like animals like whatsoever, I don't know if this is your group, because this person really does. Like, even just the fact, now that I'm thinking about it, that I was drawn to the Mystical Cats Tarot, because I'm not using this deck for the other two groups, and that just occurred to me. Yeah, I definitely think, you know, they probably have a cat or a dog that, you know, is really their baby. Okay, so group 1, this was your reading. I hope that it brought you some clarity, and I will see you in my next one. Welcome to your reading. So a huge thank you to the subscriber who suggested this topic. I've been meaning to do it for a while now. Like I was telling group 1, I am just bracing myself for the comments section, because I know a lot of you have very strong feelings about this. But we're gonna find out, you know, what the deal is, and if you don't like the messages, you can leave it. I'm just gonna report what I see. You know, I'm just the messenger here. I do have the Astro Dice out just in case we do get some kids or a child. But anyway, we're gonna do all uprights today so we can make sure we get a very clear, concise message. And a huge thank you to my guides and your guides, of course, for coordinating the messages. But group 2, does your future spouse currently have any children? Group 2, what do we need to know? Group 2. The King of Swords in reverse. Can we clarify this King of Swords in reverse? Justice. Okay, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck here, we have the Four of Cups. Okay, your future spouse doesn't have any children. However, it does look like to me that they have either had a relationship where they were living with someone or where they were actually married. So it was a long-term partnership that ended. Now the timing of this with the Wheel of Fortune is going to vary. For some of you, they're still involved with this person, so that may mean that they intend to divorce this person, but right now they're just separated. And so, you know, it depends upon where you live, right? Like which country you're in, or if you're in America, what state you're living in and what the laws are in terms of the timing of like how long you have to be separated before you can divorce and all this. So, you know, the timeline may vary for some of you, but it was definitely a significant breakdown. And so, yeah, there's no children involved, but they have had a significant partnership end. So again, like whether they were just living with them and with them for a long time, or whether they were married and will be getting a divorce will vary, but that's the general situation here. But there are no children, so I can say that. It was a big heartbreak, you know, with the Lovers here, with the Justice card here. They really had high hopes for this connection. They really thought this was their forever person, and there's just this feeling of, I couldn't have been more wrong. And, you know, I mean, look at the Four of Cups. You know, like it wasn't the easiest ending, or it's not the easiest ending if they're still in it. There's definitely hurt feelings. There's not a mutual agreement upon why this ended. You know, it wasn't amicable, let's say that. Yeah, they learned a lot of lessons though, and it does feel karmic. It does feel, with the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, they were meant to go through this, and likely they were meant to go through this to prepare them for real, true love. But it was just a hard lesson that they had to learn for sure. And I feel like right now they're just focused on their career, they're focused on rebuilding, and, you know, they're trying to remain optimistic. That to me would be, you know, their overall energy, whether they're still in it and trying to get out of it, or whether the divorce has been finalized or they have moved out. You know, that's going to vary, but regardless, they're just trying to be optimistic, and they're trying to focus on what they can control, which for them right now is their career, their professional life. So group 2. These are your messages. I hope it brought you some clarity, and I will see you in my next one. Please take care. Welcome to your reading. So today's reading is going to be super short and sweet and to the point. A subscriber had suggested this topic a while ago, and I'm just now getting around to filming it. You would think by the time I do the 3rd intro it would be smoother, but somehow it's worse. But anyway, so a huge thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. We're going to do all uprights today because I want to make sure we're very clear on this. And like I was telling the other groups, I'm just bracing myself for the comment section because I know a lot of you have very strong feelings about this. So if a message doesn't resonate or if you don't want to claim it, that's your business. I'm just reporting what I see in the cards. I do have the astro die here, just in case we get some children coming through. But okay, group 3, does your future spouse have children? Currently, group 3, does your future spouse have children? Okay. And for your bottom of the deck here, we have the King of Wands. This is really freaking adorable. So we have the 9 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, we have the Page of Wands, we have the 2 of Pentacles, and like I said, we have the King of Wands as your bottom of the deck. So your future spouse does have a child, and actually, because we got the Page of Wands here, we'll roll the die to get any other zodiac signs that are relevant, but the child could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, just the fact that we got the Page of Wands, which is associated with fire sign energy here. Okay, obviously having a page in your reading is a pretty clear indication, because out of all the court cards, the pages are the youngest, so that's why I said it's a really clear indication that there is a child, but especially because your bottom of the deck was the King of Wands. I mean, this tells me here that your future spouse has a child, but also that that child is just like them. So this child really takes after their mom or dad. For sure. And remember, you know, with the king here, this is just signifying masculine energy, and so it doesn't necessarily, you know, dictate gender. So if you're asking about a woman, you're interested in women, this reading can still apply. We're always just talking about energy here. But anyway, yeah, like they look like, you know, their mom or dad. They have the same personality, the same temperament. They just really, really favor their mom or dad, for sure. And when I say mom or dad, I'm just saying that because I don't know if you're asking about a man or a woman, but they favor your future spouse is what I'm trying to say. I just realized that could have been confusing for you. Yeah, so they really favor your future spouse. Okay. And your future spouse is this King of Wands. So they could also be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius as well. Okay. I'm sorry, someone's driving by and they're being really loud. But anyway, this person here, like, your future spouse may regret with the 8 of Cups how this child came to be, just because they feel bad that they're not together anymore, you know, with the mother or father. So, you know, they do feel bad about that. Like, I feel like they really wanted to provide that sense of stability, you know, that like nuclear family, happy home for their child. And so, you know, it kind of upsets them. I do feel like, though, with the 2 of Pentacles, they've made the best of it, you know, like they really tried to be like the best co-parents that they can be. And they're like, you know, this happens in life sometimes, right? Like there's things that are unexpected. I mean, if you look at this 2 of Pentacles here, you see this fox in the background? Like maybe this fox will run up and cause him to drop one of these pentacles, right? Like sometimes things happen unexpectedly, and we only, you know, we can try our best, but sometimes things just don't work out the way that we planned. And so I feel like at the end of the day, you know, your future spouse kind of goes back and forth sometimes. Like they obviously feel so grateful to be able to be a parent to their child. They love their child so much. They have a very strong bond with this child. They're so similar in a lot of ways. They really connect with this child. But at the same time, like, they wish that, you know, they could have provided that unified home life, you know, with like 2 parents in the household for their child. And you know, but at the same time, they're like, you know, it is better that I'm not together with my ex anymore because we were arguing, we were fighting. Like, I don't want that for my child either. Like, I don't want them to be in a household where there's yelling and fighting and disagreements and tension, and, you know, that's not healthy either. So, you know, it's kind of this situation of like, well, it's not ideal, but I have made the best of it. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't change it, because the Nine of Cups, like, this is my baby, this is my child, you know, like, they're a wish come true for me. And, you know, the circumstances around everything might not be ideal, but, you know, it is what it is, you know. Sometimes life throws us a curveball and we gotta roll with it. Yeah, I do feel like they were in a committed relationship. Like, it does feel like to me like they had high hopes for it. Like, you know, it was gonna be, you know, like their forever person. Like, it doesn't feel like an unexpected, you know, like pregnancy happened or something like that. It does, I mean, it could have been unexpected, but it does feel like they were in a committed relationship, not that they got some random person pregnant, I guess is what I'm trying to say, or they were impregnated by a random one-night stand. It doesn't feel like that to me. Okay, let's see if we can get any more information about this child's like personality. Okay, Sagittarius. So with the Page of Wands and Sagittarius, fire sign energy is now like confirmed. So this is definitely a child that is probably more extroverted, sociable, makes friends easily, likes to explore, is really energetic, likes to play outside. I was drawn to the Green Witch Tarot. I didn't use this deck for every group. I definitely feel like this child is also quite smart, very intelligent, and kind of, you know, like wise beyond their years. Like, I think they have a level of maturity to them, so that they're fun and they're fun. I wanted to say they're fun and playful. And I think this child is really funny. And you have to be pretty clever to be funny, right? I think they're like a little comedian, and I think that they're, you know, your future spouse is also very comedic, so I think that they get it from them. But they're still very like mature for their age, and I think, you know, that might be because their parents got divorced or separated, and, you know, that you know, does something to a child, you know. Okay, let's see if we can get any more information. Okay, now we're getting Cancer. Oh, but they're really sweet though. With Cancer, very loving, very affectionate. This is a water sign. I think that if you introduce them to certain like spiritual practices, I think that they would be really curious and interested in that. Like, if you were to introduce them to tarot or something like that. This child loves hugs. They are very affectionate. Yeah, they really like hugs. I don't know why I'm getting that so strongly, but I'm hearing they like a good bear hug. Wow, Cancer twice. Yeah. This is also telling me that they really... okay, to me it sounds like they're closer. It kind of depends. If you're asking about a man, they are closer to your future spouse than they are their mom, because to me it really feels like they're also craving this maternal energy. So I don't know if they just don't get along as well with their mom, or if they blame their mom for the separation. You know, that can sometimes happen with kids. Yeah, there's just this feeling of like really wanting a mom. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about this, but maybe their mom passed away. Because we were talking about unexpected curveballs. So maybe your future spouse could be a widow. If you're asking about a man, they could be a widow. Yeah, that could be why there's such a strong desire for this maternal figure and feeling like they don't have it. That's sad. Okay, that could be a possibility for some of you, obviously not for all of you. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I think 3 signs, even though we got a repeating one, is enough. Leo and Aries energy is still indicated as well. Okay, so group 3. Sorry to end it on that note, but I did say this was going to be a short reading. And also, I have to go to bed soon, so we're going to wrap it up here. Also, I just laugh all the time, so I hope you guys don't take offense to that. It's just my personality. Okay, so you guys take care. I will see you in my next one, and I'm so sorry to whoever suggested this topic that it's taken me so long. I get so many suggestions now, which I'm grateful for, but I also feel like I'm like never gonna complete that list, you know? But anyway, you guys take care, and I will see you in my next one. Welcome to your reading. So I was actually only going to do 3 groups, and then I had this like nagging feeling that I needed to do a 4th group, so here we are. A big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Like I was telling the other groups, this video was requested by a subscriber. I'm going to keep the messages super short and sweet and to the point. Oh yeah, if you guys, because I know this is kind of like a hot topic here, so I'm just bracing myself for the comments. You know, if something doesn't resonate, if you don't want to claim it, that's fine. I'm just going to report what I am seeing in the cards, and that's it, you know. I do have the astro die here in case we do have a child come through or multiple children, so we can get some more information about their personality and stuff like that. But anyway, does your future spouse currently have children? Let's find out. Group 4. Also, because I was drawn to this deck in particular, your future spouse could be from a different cultural background than you, possibly. I'm feeling drawn to this High Priestess here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. I got more cards for you all because honestly, it wasn't as clear as a message as the other 3 groups. I do want to shift this upward, so you might see a jump cut. Okay, so for you all, we have the High Priestess, we have the 7 of Wands, we have the Death card, we have the 8 of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, we have the Ace of Pentacles as your bottom of the deck, and we have Strength, and we have the Knight of Swords. So, you know, given the fact that we have 2 cards coming out that are both court cards, this could indicate, you know, the Page of Wands being a child, the Knight of Swords maybe being like a teenager, you know, or a preteen. It could just be signifying that we have 2 children here, and the Knight of Swords is the older child. And it could also signify that maybe this is a mixed group and maybe there's just one child, and you know, for some of you it's the Page of Wands and for others of you it's the Knight of Swords. Just use your discernment, you know. So like if you know in your heart of hearts you would never ever 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 be with someone who had 2 children already from a previous relationship, then maybe it's just one child. You know, I would say don't be quite so close-minded to the messages here. If you clicked on this reading and you were like, I pray to God they don't have any children because I don't want kids, we're talking about your future spouse. So like either like you clicked on the wrong group, this isn't your reading, or future you is gonna surprise you. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be one of those. But I'm just gonna keep pushing forward. Okay, so with the 8 of Swords here, I feel like your future spouse, I think they were really scared of becoming a parent. I think that they doubted their capabilities. They questioned if they would be a good mother or a good father a lot. And I feel like parenthood has been the most rewarding experience for them. They have grown up a lot, they have learned a lot, and it's an experience, I think, for them that they wouldn't trade for the world. Like, as challenging as it has been to step into that role, I feel like they have really surprised themselves at how great of a job they've been able to do. You know, I feel like maybe your future spouse had a difficult childhood, and maybe they were at a point in their life where they thought they would never have children, you know, like they just worried about repeating the mistakes of their parents. And, you know, I feel like it's been actually a very healing thing for them to be a parent. And they're not really giving me a lot of information about who they had these children with or child with. You know, they're not really speaking a lot to the circumstances there. But I feel like it's one of those things where, well, let's see if we can get maybe some information about that, because I'm a little curious. And I mean, if we're not meant to know, I won't push it, but let's just see, like, what is the dynamic there with the mother or father of their child or children. We have the Magician and we have the 8 of Cups. Ooh. Oh, that's rough. That's rough to get these 2 cards together here. It's something that is still very painful for them. It's something that is still really hard because they kind of look at it like, if I could wave a magic wand and make it all okay somehow, I would, for the sake of my kid or for the sake of my kids. Like, I would do that. But they're at a point where they understand, like, it takes 2 to tango. Like, I can't make someone step up. I can't make someone show up. So I almost wonder, especially with the 7 of Wands here, I almost wonder if, you know, maybe the other parent, you know, not your future spouse, but the other parent, I wonder if they're not as involved in the kids' lives, or they're not as stable of a parent. There's something there. And it's going to vary for, you know, all of you, like what the specifics are, because it's still a general reading, but there's something there that is a bit heartbreaking. So, you know, I mean, there could be a lot of different reasons why. You know, like maybe someone is having mental health issues, substance use issue, something like that, where they can't really be as present of a parent or as stable of a caregiver as maybe the kids need or deserve. It just feels like there's some sort of extenuating circumstance there that just makes it impossible. So you know, there group 3 had like a good co-parenting dynamic. With this group here, it feels like your future spouse is almost, you know, it's like they're a single parent, and it's like that other parent just isn't in the picture. They're not involved. That connection is just like dead. It really feels like they're just not even remotely involved. Or if they are, it is like a bit of conflict, because your future spouse has the best interest of the children or the child at heart, whereas that other parent does not, for whatever reason. Or they want to, but, you know, because of other things, other factors, they're just not able. You know how when someone wants to do better, but they just are not at that capacity to do better, you know, in terms of like their emotional maturity maybe. I can relate a lot to that personally, like, you know, with my mom, like I know she wants to do better, and I know she's doing her best. It's just that her best isn't that great, you know. You know, sometimes people just have certain limitations because of their own upbringing and their own past experiences. So anyway, it really feels like probably some kind of mental health related issue. I won't go into, you know, really specifics, because A, it's a general reading, and B, I don't want to, you know, trigger anybody. But I feel like your future spouse is a great parent for sure. They're managing a lot. It is hard being a single parent, really difficult, really challenging, but they're stepping up. They really are stepping up, and they're doing it while managing a career as well. So, you know, maybe they also have some family support. This High Priestess is actually coming through as a grandmother to me, and that's actually never really happened in a reading before. But I do think someone's grandmother, you know, whether it's their mom or the other parent's mom, has really stepped in to help out, because I do feel like your future spouse has a really successful career, and so to manage parenting on your own and then having a career on top of it is really hard. So it is good that there is this grandmother figure involved in the picture. This could also be maybe like an aunt as well, but I'm thinking grandmother for most of you. Or a sister maybe. Some matriarchal figure is involved though. With this Page of Wands, you know, this could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. This would be a younger child, like elementary school age, so younger than 10 or younger. With the Knight of Swords, like I said, maybe a preteen, a teenager. Could be dependent too upon your age, like watching this and where you're at in your life. Because maybe you are, you know, in your late 30s and your 40s watching this, and maybe you've been divorced and you're thinking about your next marriage. So, you know, this could be maybe adult children for some of you watching this, but I think for the majority of you, these are younger children. Okay. With this Page of Wands child, I do feel like they are very reserved at first. You know, they come across as very shy, especially I think around new people, but once you spend time with them and they open up, they are just the cutest, free-spirited, lighthearted, cuddly, giggly kind of child. Like the kind of child, like you just want to like tickle them, you know, like they're just so stinking cute and so warm-hearted. It's making me feel like a little emotional because it's making me think of my brother. I have an 11-year age difference between me and my brother, so he will always be a baby to me, even though now he's taller than me. But yeah, there's definitely a very sweet energy from this younger child. And again, maybe this is the only child, maybe it's the younger one. Just take whatever resonates. With this Knight of Swords child, they're guarded also in a different way. It's not from a place of being shy, it's just from a place of, you know, kind of just wanting to protect themselves because, and that makes a lot of sense, as the older child, they would be more aware of the breakdown with their parents and the ways in which the other parent has probably hurt them or disappointed them. And so, you know, it makes sense that they would be a bit more guarded. I'm not picking up that they're like moody, it's just that they are protective of themselves and protective over your future spouse as well. They're very smart, just like the most clever, most clever kid. I'm hearing they're really good in math and science related topics. Very curious and inquisitive, but that side to them wouldn't come out until they were more comfortable with you. I think if you get them talking about something that they're really interested in, that would be the best way to connect with this child, because I feel like otherwise they can be, like I said, pretty closed off. It's not that they would be closed off with you specifically, it's just that they're kind of like that in general, because it makes me sad too. It's almost like they're a little bit jaded, and they're too young to be jaded. But it's, you know, because of this painful situation with the other parent. I'm also hearing that they like space, something about space that they really like. I do feel like they have a pet that they care a lot about, and that would be another way to connect with them. They're not telling me what kind of pet that they have, but they do have a pet. And I think your future spouse got them that pet to help them, because they saw how closed off they were becoming. And so, you know, they got them the pet as, you know, like a companion to give more support to them. Because I do feel like, you know, they went through a period of feeling quite lonely, because they were really missing that other parent, and, you know, just maybe even just missing something that they never had, you know, like a present mother and father. I am picking up, though, that they're quite close to whoever this high priestess is, whether it's their grandmother, you know, or their aunt, but they are quite close to whoever this is. It's to them that they go to for advice or help if they need it, even more than your future spouse. Like, this feels like a really close bond here. Let's see, and I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but this Knight of Swords child could be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Let's get some more zodiac signs, though, just to see if we can get any more information about, let's start with the youngest child. Okay, so we have Aries. So fire sign energy has been confirmed. So Aries especially, though. And, you know, that's really funny. Like I said, you know, they come off as really shy, but then when you get to know them, it's like they blossom. And Aries is the baby of the zodiac too. It's the first sign. So I feel like as this child gets older, they will develop, you know, like those leadership qualities that Aries is known for. And they'll be a lot more expressive, but, you know, I think that's also what kind of makes this child funny and will crack you up sometimes, is that they seem so like shy and quiet, but then when you get to know them and they feel comfortable around you and they open up, they can say things, because Aries is quite blunt and honest. They could say things that like kind of shock you a little bit, like, what did you just say? Like, they have this little bit of sassiness to them, a little bit of sassiness. Okay. All right, let's get some more information about this Knight of Swords child. Okay, so we have Leo energy here. And that's funny because it's right next to the Strength card, which is Leo energy. So this could also be a hint here about the other side to this child, when that guarded energy, you know, with this Knight of Swords comes down, this is who they really are at their core, like this warm-hearted individual, you know? Yeah, so it might be like that Knight of Swords energy might not be who they are at their core. You know, that might just be something that they kind of embody to protect themselves, but really they are like quite sensitive. You know, with Leo energy, like they really want to be accepted. They want to be accepted, and they want to feel love, and they want to feel like they're in control, and they want to feel strong and powerful, and like they're safe, and they can protect themselves and protect who they love, you know, like that ferocity of Leo with the lion, like, and you know, lions have their pride, right? Like, and when I say pride, I don't mean their ego, I mean pride as in the collective, like the other lions in the group and the family unit. And so I think the fact that they don't feel like their family is intact was really painful for them, and I feel like there's still some residual hurt there. You know, they're kid, you know, they're a kid, they're still processing it and still trying to understand it. I think, you know, just like this little page over here, they're also going to blossom as they get older, and I think you will honestly be a very positive influence in their life, but I feel like you will help them grow into this sense of self-confidence. And you know, Leo energy is very, you know, it's the sun, it's very warm and generous, and so I feel like you will help them get out of this like cold shield, you know, of the sword, you know, that wall that they have up. I feel like you will help them melt that down. Be that open-hearted individual that they probably were initially. You know, I feel like their personality is actually quite close to their siblings. It's just hidden behind the wall that they've put up. But I think that with your influence in their life, you'll probably definitely help them connect more with their peers, have more friends, open up more, and just feel more safe, I think. Alright, so group 4, this was your reading. It was a lot more intensive than the other 3 groups and probably a bit longer. Thank you for watching through to the end. Thank you for being open to these messages, and I will see you in my next one. I hope it brought you some clarity, and please take care, group 4. No take.
What?